Morning, guys. Got my band out. We're going to do some band presses. Got 20 minutes on the clock. We do 3 sets of band presses. Taking my time between each. At least a minute's rest, maybe a minute and a half. Band press is a little easier than what I've been doing the kettlebell press. I'm looking for things that are triggering a return of some back issues that I was on the road to eliminating, or at least fixing, or at least being somewhat pain-free. And then in the past 2 weeks, it's been tweaked again. Not nearly as bad as it was. It's relatively pain-free. I just feel that it's on edge. You know, if I move a certain way, a little bit of a twinge, and I know that there can easily be a setback. So I'm trying to avoid that. I think band presses for now might be a better fit. And I like them. You know, I do prefer kettlebell press. I also like barbell presses. Just felt that I haven't been ready for them yet. But I also like band presses. I like that tension on a muscle that you get from bands. So you don't get really with anything else. I haven't decided what kind of burpees I'm going to do yet. Whatever time's left over from my presses, I'm going to do some burpees. Let's get started. Let's take a countdown. Reps. Also, it feels good on my shoulder, on my troublesome shoulder. It feels good on my non-troublesome shoulder. I might, either my 3rd set or maybe I'll even throw in a 4th set. The progression would be going to a 2nd band. We'll see if I'm ready for it. We'll give it a test. It's 1 or 2. 1 or 2 reps. I'm also toying with the thought, I'm not going to say I'm going to do it yet, of 6 counts for my burpees. I haven't done those in a while. Not since I've been doing the nasal breathing, as you can't properly do 6 counts in nasal breathing. As you can't know that. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I should be practicing. What I'm thinking of now, tomorrow's supposed to be a recovery session. You know, I seldom use those days for recovery. Take it as an opportunity just to do more burpees. But it is a day between body parts. It's just burpees. So maybe I just do an easy 10-minute session of nasal breathing 1 pumps. So, even with the bands, make sure you're engaging the core, keeping it tight. Make sure you're squeezing the glutes. You want to create that virtual weight within the middle. A lot of people, because it's bands, and they think, well, you know, easier. They don't have to really get that core nice and tight and engaged. But of course you do. Especially when you're 59 and you have a troublesome back. one set of 12 reps. And then I'll go ahead and give that double band a try, just for a rep, just to get that feel for it. Since I'm taking my time, I'm not going to have a ton of time left for burpees. That's okay, as I do need an easier day. Yesterday was intervals. I forget what I did the day before, but I know it involved dips. To start with, anytime you do burpees after dips, you're going to be feeling it. I'm enjoying these higher reps. Alright, 3 sets of 12. Let's get everything quick. Test drive with double bands. Really is an ingenious setup for these bands. Interchangeable. Again, guys, the key is going to be staying tight. So I might not be able to do it. I'm okay with what appears to be failure on camera. No editing. Stuff. Might need a lighter band to add in there. However, my lighter band stuff, since it's been a while, it's decayed, so it's not going to be helpful. Thought I had some that were okay, but it doesn't appear to be so. Might have to order some. Even with excuse me, guys. Even with band setup, I can feel just a little bit of tugging in my back. With the doubles, which just goes to show you need to be careful no matter what you do. All right, I'm going to start at 12 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. Let's go 12 minutes and 40 seconds. Nasal breathing, 1 pump. that's it, guys. Just a little bit of practice with the 6 counts. At the end, you got 25 1 pumps, 25 2 pumps, 25 Navy SEALs. I might have miscounted, in which case I started over. The 6 count felt pretty good. Everything else felt slow and cumbersome. There's a word you don't hear every day. Fitting though. Shoulders just felt stiff. So I'm done for the day, guys. Well, I am done this part of the day. I'm done with my burpees. I will move on in just a minute. My second and last round of asanas. Very brief. I just do 3, 4 key moves to open me up, open up the back, reset my back, as well as opening up the energetic systems of the body. Then I do easy round of sun salutation, and then I do my breathwork, annulum balloon, which is the alternate nostril breathing, and I do that 10 rounds or so, sometimes a little more. Breathing in for a count of 5, holding for a count of 20, exhaling for a count of 10, reversing it, 5, 20, 10. Work up to that. I've actually worked up to that for several years. That, generally speaking, you can skip the breath hold, you can do 4, just a brief pause, exhale for 4, 4, brief pause, exhale for 4, and then you work up to 4, 4, 4, reversing it, 4, 4, 4, and then I would increase the exhale for an 8 count. Maybe you might need to start with 6. Doesn't matter if it has to be 6, but optimally you'd want to do it for 8. So we'd be breathing for 4, hold for 8, exhale for 8, 4, 8, 4. Then eventually you go to 12, 16, 20. You can even go to 24 if you wanted, and then you might want to increase it to the 5, 20, 10. Breath holds are fantastic, but they have to be worked up to. You have to be mindful of them. You have to do them with approaching some mindfulness. When we do this with the eyes closed, focused on the third eye, it becomes a very deep practice of pratyahara, which is the 5th limb of yoga, withdrawal of the senses. We are withdrawing from the external world and bringing, just for a little bit, a brief focus upon our inner world. It's a nice retreat, and it brings a great amount of stress reduction. It also puts us in thought puts us in mind to our thought system, what's going on inside. Just become very, very mindful, and then we take that mindfulness to the outer world. That's the benefit of training pratyahara. That's the benefit of the entire 8 branches, 8 limbs of yoga. And generally, especially in the West, although now very much predominant in a lot of Eastern yoga schools as well. Because hey, no matter where you are, everyone wants or needs to make a profit. And it's easier to focus on the outer. Although yoga is an inner tradition. The whole key to yoga, as mentioned in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, we are stilling the process of the mind. We are stilling the waves, the fluctuating patterns of the mind, so we can get a glimpse of freedom, of liberation, where we see that the mind in its constant motion, its constant fluctuation, is what's causing us a great deal of suffering. Yoga psychology tells us of the 5 kleshas, which are the 5 afflictions of the mind, which are our attachments, that which we are attracted to and we are attached to, as well as our aversions, that which we attempt to push away, but we really can't. If something is present, it's present. Our fear of death, which is really an underlying issue. By death, I don't necessarily or exclusively mean the fear of the physical body dying, although that's a big part. It's our identification with the physical body, as well as our identification with a personal, separate self that we believe can actually die. The truth is, it doesn't exist. The ego is just a thought system. So what can die that never truly existed? And then we have our belief that we are that ego, that we are a small, separate, individual self, that we are a personality subject to change, subject to birth, subject to misery and suffering through life, and subject to eventual death. 5th, not in any particular order, but I like putting it 5th because for me it's the most important. Avidya, which means ignorance. Not that it is a finger pointing at intelligence in any way. It is ignorance of all the things I just mentioned. We are ignorant that we are caught up in that thought system and that it's causing us suffering. When we become aware of it through the entirety of the process of yoga, stilling the mind, stilling the body, being able to sit for longer periods of time, withdrawing the senses, getting the breath still, nice, quiet, even contemplating, then meditation, and then reaching samadhi, and we see how all that plays out. We bring awareness to it, and through awareness, everything starts to change. That's the slightly longer path of yoga. And of Course in Miracles, it tells you basically the same thing, that we are, because of that stuff, because of our belief in the separate self, because of our fear of death, because of the belief that we are an ego, because of all the things that the ego is attached to or averse to, we're projecting it into the world, and we're creating this world of suffering and sorrow, literally creating it with our mind, because we are adding those meaning to everything we see. Of Course in Miracles takes a very simple and direct approach. Forgive. Forgive the projections. Don't forgive other people, because when you see the illusion of the separate self, there are no other people. As Ramana Maharshi said, there are no others. We're not even forgiving ourselves. We're not saying, man, I messed up, but I'm going to forgive myself. We are forgiving the illusion that there is a self for which any of this could possibly be happening to. That there is a self that could possibly be feeling and experiencing guilt or sin or anything else. We are seeing our own original innocence, that we were never kicked out of the garden. And in that forgiveness, we're released, we're liberated, we're free. If that doesn't happen right away, it doesn't matter, because there is that instantaneous insight, that satori, instant awakening, freedom in just the moment that we forgive. That's enough. And then we proceed from there. Forgiving, forgiving, forgiving. Continuously so. Until we don't have anything left to forgive. Until there are no grievances, we let go of all our resentments. And we've liberated not just ourselves, we've liberated the world. That's it, guys. I'll see everyone later. Take care.